Hello, everybody. It is Friday, April 17th, and welcome back to the Nick Watkins Show. I'm Nick Watkins. Let's get into it. The just unbelievable amount of content we have to talk about today. Yesterday was such a huge day for particularly Bay Area sports, but just sports in general, man. I mean, there's so much that's going to happen today as well. So, the order we're going to do things, we're going to go hockey first, then we're going to go baseball, then we're going to go basketball, and then we're going to go football. So, really, we got all four sports to talk about today, and it's going to be a great episode. So, if you want to focus on one specific aspect, the order will be hockey, baseball, basketball, football. Let's start with that hockey. So, yesterday, the San Jose Sharks won their final game of the season. Final score 6-1 over the Winnipeg Jets in Winnipeg. Sharks scored 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third. This was a great team game. Basically, everybody on the team played well, but the main story from this one, Macklin Celebrini. 19 years old, had a goal and 2 assists in this game, 3 points, good enough for 115 points on the season, the most ever by a San Jose Shark in a single season. He is now the new record holder, 4 points in a season by the San Jose Sharks, passing all-time great Hall of Famer and his landlord, Jumbo Joe Thornton. 115 points at 19 years old. What more can be said about Macklin? He is just such a special young player. This kid is the future of hockey. He's the future of not only San Jose Sharks hockey, but the entire league in general. He's the future face of the league. What an unbelievable season. 45 goals, which is fourth in the league, 70 assists, which is seventh, and 115 points, good enough for fourth in the entire league. And he's 19 years old. He's a teenager. And what he's doing is just, it hasn't been seen since the likes of Crosby and Gretzky. That's how special he is. What he's doing is unbelievable, once in a generation talent. And we really need to appreciate this because he scored 115 points at 19. And really, this is probably just the starting point. I mean, this is the baseline. He's going to surpass this by a lot of points in the future. You can almost guarantee that. This isn't even fully powered up Macklin Celebrini. This is sophomore season Macklin, 115 points. You can expect, I don't know, whatever a crazy number is. I'm not the most familiar with that, but like you can almost guarantee that he's going to beat this by double digit points, and he's just going to continue to get better year after year. But what a special season from the young superstar of the San Jose Sharks. He broke out and announced himself on the international stage, and now everyone knows that the Sharks are for real, and their future captain, Macklin Celebrini, is the real deal, and he will be the real deal for many years to come. He's unbelievable. He really is. But let's just talk about the entire team because this was a great team win from the Sharks. I mean, we scored 6 goals, and all of them came from different players. The goals were in order: Chernyshov, and then Smith, Graf, Misa, Eklund, and Celebrini all had goals in this game. All the young guys showing up. In addition to Klingberg had 3 assists, Ferraro had an assist, Sherwood had an assist. Everybody was contributing to the lineup, playing great hockey. The goalie, Alex Nedeljkovic, 25 saves on 26 shots. He was very good, sneaky good. I know the main story of this game was Macklin Celebrini, but everybody played well for the Sharks. And just a great, great ending to an incredibly special year for the San Jose Sharks. 39, 35, and 8 was the final record for the Sharks. Just missed the playoffs, missed it by 4 points. And if you consider how young this team is and how low the expectations were coming into the year, This is a huge step in the right direction, and this is probably the final year of rebuilding. And next year, the expectation is we're going to compete and make the playoffs, and it's just going to get better every year from there. And it just is such a special year. Contributions up and down the lineup, all the young guys emerging and playing great hockey, all the veterans also playing well, great goaltending throughout the season, and just this team is such a special team, and it will have a special place in the hearts of San Jose Shark fans forever because these are kind of like the baby Sharks, and now they're all growing up, and next year they're going to be ready to just maul the Western Conference. Might be a bold prediction, but this is such a special year. I'm so happy that this is really the first year that I've been watching hockey consistently. It's because the Sharks are good, so I got back into hockey really for the first time since the Pavelski and Thornton and Couture days. But this was such a great season. Started on October 6th. I remember the day that I put out that episode called "The Future Is Teal," and now here we are on April 17th, and we're saying the future is now for the San Jose Sharks. I'm so excited for next year, and I will always look back on this year with fondness. And once we get there, probably nostalgia as to how special this year was. And I can't wait for next year, and I will miss this team for sure. But um, it was a very fun year, a very good year for the San Jose Sharks, and I'm really happy I was able to spend it all with you guys talking about the Sharks. So that's gonna wrap up the Sharks year. Good year for the Sharks. Missed the playoffs, yes, but we were close. We were playing competitive hockey well into April, and that was probably more than we thought coming into the year. I'm just so happy with the way the season went, and I can't wait for next year. Looking at other scores from around the league, the Avalanche beat the Kraken 2-0. The Flames beat the Kings 3-1. The Oilers beat the Canucks 6-1. The Ducks beat the Predators 5-4. And the Blues beat the Mammoth 5-3. So the NHL playoffs are set. There's going to be an episode coming out later today, a special edition with Noah talking about our full predictions for the NHL playoffs. But here is what they look like heading into tomorrow, which is when it will start. The Eastern Conference, the Carolina Hurricanes are first. They will host the Philadelphia Flyers. So Hurricanes Flyers 1-8 matchup. Actually, that's not how it works, huh? Well, it is how they will be playing each other, but that's not necessarily how it works. Um, no, that's not how it works. So I'm tripping. Okay, the way that the hockey playoffs work is very odd. This is how it actually is going to happen. The Carolina Hurricanes are first. They will host the. Is that even possible? They will host the sixth seed Ottawa Senators, Hurricanes Senators in the first round. The Buffalo Sabres won the Atlantic. They will host the Boston Bruins in the first round. That is a very good first round matchup for a division winner and a wild card team. The Sabres will play the Bruins in the first. Then you have the Penguins and the Flyers will play each other in the first round. That's 7-8. They're going to play each other. Both 98 points. It should be a pretty even matchup there between the two Pittsburgh teams, or not Pittsburgh teams, the two Pennsylvania teams. That's a fun storyline. And then the Tampa Bay Lightning will face off with the Montreal Canadiens. Both teams, 106 points on the year. Both very good teams. The Lightning are the veteran good team. The Habs are the young good team. This is one of the best. This is probably the best first round matchup in the Eastern Conference between the Lightning and the Canadiens. That's going to be cinema. So just to recap, the 1 through 8, the Hurricanes, the Sabres, the Lightning, Canadiens, Bruins, Senators, Penguins, and Flyers. It's going to be Hurricanes and the Senators, the Sabres and the Bruins, the Lightning and the Canadiens, and the Flyers and the Penguins in the Eastern Conference. Looking at the West, this is how it ended up 1 through 8. The Avs are first, the Stars second, the Wild third, fourth place, and winning the Pacific Division with a 3-game winning streak to finish out the year. The Vegas Golden Knights took it over the Edmonton Oilers, who have 93 points. They're in fifth. In sixth place, the Utah Mammoth. In seventh, the Ducks and the Kings are the eighth place team. This is how it's going to go. These are the matchups. The Avs are going to host the Los Angeles Kings. Should be light work, and I will be very happy to see the Kings get crushed in the first round. It will bring joy to my soul to see our rivals get obliterated at the hands of the President's Trophy winner. And then you also have other wild card. The Golden Knights will play the Utah Mammoth. It's a pretty even matchup, even though the Knights are the winner of the Pacific and the Utah Mammoth are technically a wild card team. They're very close in the standings to Vegas, and this should be a good matchup. You also have the Oilers and the Ducks separated by just 1 point. The Ducks made the playoffs for the first time in like 10 years. The Oilers looking to go to the third consecutive Stanley Cup final. They have McDavid. You know how good he is. And then the best matchup, in my opinion, of the first round, the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. Two insanely good teams, and one of them is going to get eliminated in the first round. And maybe this will make you question like just how the Lightning and the Canadiens will have to play against each other. The Stars and the Wild, having one of those teams eliminated in the first round and not make a deep run makes no sense, and might make hockey rethink their playoff format because that's ridiculous. But this is, in my opinion, going to be the best first round matchup. It's going to be really hard to pick, and one of these teams could end up winning it all, and the other will be eliminated in the first round, guaranteed. And that's pretty crazy to think about. So, here are the games tomorrow: the Senators and the Hurricanes, the Wild and the Stars, and the Flyers and the Penguins. Then there are 4 games rather: the Kings and the Avs, Canadiens and the Lightning, Bruins and the Sabres, the Mammoth and the Golden Knights on Sunday. And then the other team, the only team that would not be playing over the weekend are the Ducks and the Oilers. That matchup will be on Monday because both of those teams played yesterday. So that is hockey. What a great regular season it was. And the playoffs are here. And playoff hockey is a different beast. It is loud. It is violent. It is a treat to watch. And I can't wait to watch some playoff hockey this spring. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now we're going to move over to baseball, where the San Francisco Giants beat. Let me restart that. Let's move over to baseball, where the San Francisco Giants beat the Cincinnati Reds. Final score 3-0 yesterday, a shutout win for the Orange and Black. Giants 3 runs on 6 hits and no errors. The Reds had no runs on 1 hit and an error. The winning pitcher in this game was Landon Roop, who goes to 3-1 on the year thanks to his 6 shutout innings where he allowed 1 hit and 2 walks, and he struck out 6 batters. He also hit 2 batters, which we will definitely get into, but 1 hit over 6 innings and did not allow a single run. This was a masterpiece from Landon Roop. I believed in him 100%. I thought that he was going to have a good game, and I said yesterday that he is the pitcher I want on the mound in this game, and he delivered and then some. What an absolute gem from Landon Roop. 6 scoreless innings, allowing 1 hit is exactly what the Giants needed because they weren't getting much offensive production through those 6 innings. But Landon Roop, thanks to his incredible pitching, was able to keep them tied throughout. And then they rewarded him, the offense rewarded him by breaking out in the 7th, right after he came out of the game, to get those 3 runs in the 7th and get him the win. Landon Roop, definitely the MVP of yesterday. What an incredible performance. We desperately needed it. He delivered. He's amazing. Landon Roop, what a game. Hats off to him. The losing pitcher in this game was Bjerk. Gave up 3 runs, none of them earned in the 7th inning. And the save went to Eric Miller, who allowed 1 walk in an inning but struck out 3 batters to get his first career save. And he had some choice words for the Cincinnati Reds after he struck out Sal Stewart. So let's backtrack here. For those of you who are not familiar with this situation, I will tell you what has happened over these past couple days between the Giants and the Reds. On Wednesday rather. On Wednesday, JT Brubaker was pitching in, I want to say, the 8th inning. And yeah, so on Wednesday, JT Brubaker was pitching in the 8th inning, and he was starting his delivery when Spencer Steer called time. Actually, this was the 7th inning. So on Wednesday, in the 7th inning, JT Brubaker was pitching to Spencer Steer, had him in an 0-2 count, and was starting his delivery, and Steer called time, and Brubaker was not happy about it at all, and Steer started chirping him, saying, "Throw the ball." And then Brubaker did he threw a strike in the zone, and Steer crushed it in the left field for a base hit, and he was yelling at him the entire way down the first base line. Brubaker was not happy about it. The Giants were not happy about it, and the Giants ended up losing that game big time on Wednesday. So now you go to yesterday, and Spencer Steer's coming up for the first time. He is the 6th hitter for the Reds, and Roop plunked him. Landon Roop's only thrown 6 four-seam fastballs this entire season, and he threw one of those pitches directly into Spencer Steer. So retaliation there. If you go to the post-game interview with Landon Roop, it's hilarious. They ask him what happened with Steer. All he said was slipped, and then he tries desperately to not laugh, and he cracks a little smile, a little smirk. It's hilarious. So it was definitely intentional. And then you go to the 8th inning, right after the Giants have scored 3 runs to take the lead, and Willy Adames gets hit. I don't even think he was leading off the inning. There were 2 outs in the inning, so they just threw at the Giants shortstop. He didn't even do anything in the instance yesterday or the day before. He didn't do anything. They just decided they were going to go after Adames. Threw one pitch way inside, and he dodged it. The next one came in and hit him. He was not happy. And this is Willy Adames we're talking about. He's like the happiest guy in baseball, and he doesn't have a bad day ever. He was not happy about it. The Giants were not happy about it. They came out onto the field. There were no benches clearing, with the Giants were standing out there. Ramos was getting mad. He had to be held back. Even the bat boy was shaking his head at the Reds pitcher. Did not like that. And then when Eric Miller got the save, he yelled out. He let out a roar of roar of emotion, which is very common for closers, especially after getting a save. I mean, he struck out the side, so he's pretty pumped up, so he lets out that emotion. And Sal Stewart was not happy about it. He was the one who struck out, and he started yelling at Miller. And Eric Miller, who apparently is a very calm guy, very soft-spoken guy, doesn't really talk very much, big guy, starts yelling at him, tells him to, what did he say exactly? Sit down. And then he did something crazy. You never even see this out of Eric Miller. He points at every single player in the Reds dugout and says, you. He tells them all to have a nice day, pretty much is what he said. Bench is clear. Bullpen's coming. This is after the game is over. Eric Miller, how big is he? He's 6'5", 240. This is not the guy you want to pick a fight against. And it was, yeah, they were not happy about it. Benches were clearing, tempers were flaring. Benches clearing incident in yesterday's game. So that's the situation. I've never liked the Cincinnati Reds. There's no real reason for it. I just never liked them. And now I really don't like the Reds. And Now the Giants themselves, they don't like the Reds, and the Reds don't like the Giants. So, in my opinion, this is my take on it. This is the new modern Giants rivalry in the National League. It's with the Cincinnati Reds because of this whole series, what has transpired, the intentional hit by pitches, the benches clearing, the chirps, and all that. This is a new rivalry in the National League. The Giants and the Reds. This is the modern one flap down, if you're familiar with that. And I guarantee you, the Giants and the Reds are circling this August series on their calendars saying, we are going to go out there on August 24th and 25th and 26th and beat the heck out of the other team. These teams now do not like each other, and and they're going to try a little bit extra when they play against them. I'm all for that because for some reason, I've never liked the Reds, and now I really don't like the Reds. Giants Reds, this is a new rivalry in the National League. I can't wait for the next time they play each other. It's gonna be fun to watch. All right. Um, let's talk about the offense actually. The Giants were struggling a lot against the starter for the Reds, Chase Burns. He had 2 hits over 6 innings. He walked one batter and struck out four. So they were putting the ball in play, but not like super well. But then the third or the seventh inning happened. Okay, the seventh inning happened, and Luis Arias gets on base because of an error by Ellie De La Cruz. Next up is so he would reach on the air, and then 2 outs would happen. Matt Chapman comes up. Matt Chapman ropes one into the gap in left field. Arias comes all the way around and scores. Giants take the lead. The next hitter, Jung Hoo Lee, muscles one into left field. The ball was in on the hands, and he went the other way and shot a flare out into the left center field gap. I loved that approach from Jung Hoo Lee. And then the next batter after that was Casey Schmidt, and he got a single into center field, and it scored Jung Hoo Lee. And the Giants, with those 3 runs in the seventh inning, were able to win the game. And this is what I think about it. If you go back to all those championship years and when we were playing great last year, the recipe for success was incredible pitching, especially from the bullpen, and clutch, timely hitting. And what happened yesterday was incredible pitching from the starter, yes, but also scoreless innings from Walker and Wynn and Miller. Only 1 hit allowed, so that's incredible pitching. And then clutch, timely hitting. Matt Chapman comes up with 2 outs and a runner on first, ropes one into the gap and scores him. Then Jung Hoo follows it up with his own single, and then Schmidt comes in and hits a single. Those are all 2 out, late inning hits that score runs. And obviously, with this lineup on paper, you want to see more runs. But the way the Giants have had success basically since Bonds retired is by quality, great pitching, and clutch, timely hitting. That's exactly what they did yesterday. And what happened? Well, we got a 3-0 victory. I don't want to say that I want to see that more. I want to see more runs, of course. However, that's like the main way the Giants win baseball games historically. We could use some of that right now. We can use clutch hitting because before we really weren't hitting at all. And now if you can get those clutch hits where you have opportunities and you cash in on them, that's what the Giants were really missing all throughout. The pitching was there, but especially yesterday, I really liked this game from the Giants. It was a classic Giants victory. And I mean, I was very happy with the way that it went yesterday. The clutch hitting and especially the pitching from Roop and Walker and Wynn and Miller. Um, that's the way the Giants win baseball games, and I love to see more wins. And I guess that's the way we can get them. So I'm not complaining about it. All right, now let's talk about Let's go to other games around the league. The Nationals beat the Pirates in 10 innings. Winning pitcher was Beater. The loser was Santana, and the save went to Ribalta. The Tigers walked off the Royals 10-9. They tied the game in the ninth, and they won the game in the ninth. Seabold got the win. The loss went to Urseg. The Angels beat the Yankees 11-4. Mike Trout has hit. Oh my gosh. 5 homers in the last 4 games against the New York Yankees. Are we about to see vintage Mike Trout? Because that's what we're seeing here. If he can sustain this for a whole season, like that's that would be unbelievable. What we're seeing right now is 2010's MVP Mike Trout, the best player in baseball, Mike Trout. I did see something in the offseason that was saying he was doing this new kind of experimental red light therapy training, and he said he was like feeling great. You see the results here: 5 homers in 4 games against the New York Yankees. I mean, it's not just these past games. I mean, he has 7 homers, which is third in baseball, and 69 at bats. OPS above 1,000. He's walking more than anyone in baseball. If we can see Mike Trout play like this for an entire season, that is not only a absolute treat for baseball fans everywhere, pure baseball fans, but it would be great for the Angels and be great for him because he is one of the greatest players, maybe of all time, just in terms of pure talent. And if he can turn back the clock and have another one of those vintage Mike Trout years, that would be great for baseball. Um, Aaron Judge also been putting on a show recently, getting back to that MVP form. He's leading the league in homers with 8. He's playing great baseball. But the Angels won the game 11-4. Gary got the win, and Freed got the loss. The Brewers beat the Blue Jays 2-1. Winning pitcher was Ashby, who's now 5-0. Isn't he a reliever? So this relief pitcher now has the most wins in baseball, which is so funny. The save went to Zerpa. The loss went to Nance. The Rays beat the White Sox 5-3. The win went to Kelly. The loss went to Seranthony Dominguez, and the save went to Baker. The Rangers tied the game and then won the game against the A's in the ninth. The Rays also tied the game, won the game in the ninth against the White Sox. But the Rangers won 9-6. The winning pitcher was Quantrill. The losing pitcher was Sterner, and no save there. The Guardians beat the Orioles 4-2. The winning pitcher was Parker Messick, who almost threw a no-hitter. He took a no-hitter into the ninth inning, gave up 2 hits. They pulled him. He actually ended up getting 2 earned runs in this game, but it really doesn't show the story of how dominant he was. This is a young pitcher. I think he's a rookie. Um, yeah, he's still a rookie. He has eligibility for rookie. And not only did he almost throw a no hitter yesterday, but he's been very good. He only allowed 1 run through his first 3 starts, and he did get 2 yesterday, which is unfair because it doesn't tell the full story. But Parker Messick, a very, very nice game. The losing pitcher was Boz. The save went to Cade Smith. The Rockies beat the Astros 3-2. Dollander got the win. The loss went to Ray. The save went to Vodnik. The Padres beat the Mariners 5-2. The winning pitcher was Buehler. The losing pitcher was Castillo, and the save went to Mason Miller. And there are already talks about Mason Miller for the Cy Young. I can't remember the last time a reliever won the Cy Young. The last time they were in consideration was Zach Britton in, I think it was 2016 when he had that unbelievable year for the Orioles. But Mason Miller, if you look at the stats, he has pitched 9 1/3 innings. He has not given up a run. He struck out 23 batters. His whip is .21. Batting average against is .034. He has 6 saves, which is the most in the majors. Mason Miller is having Mason Miller is on pace to have maybe the best season ever by a reliever. Because in this modern era where hitters are the best they've ever been, he's throwing 104, and he's also throwing a slider, which is just disgusting. And anytime he comes into a game, you know it's over. And the Reaper is establishing himself as not only the best reliever in baseball, maybe the best pitcher in baseball. He's got a real argument for it, and people are taking notice, and I am genuinely terrified of Mason Miller. I would not want to face him. My knees would be trembling. Um, he's wow. All right, we'll watch that, see how he does. Because I mean, geez, he's good. Games today: the Cubs play the Mets. It's gonna be Senga versus Cabrera. Cabrera for the Cubs. The O's and the Guardians: Bassett versus Bybee. It's gonna be the Braves and the Phillies. It's gonna be Perez versus Walker. The Rays and the Pirates: Martinez versus Chandler. It's gonna be the Royals and the Yankees: Walker versus Schlittler. Marlins go Junk against Crow for the Brewers. The Tigers and the Red Sox gonna be Mize versus Suarez. The Reds and the Twins. Excuse me, Williamson versus Ryan. Cards, Astros, Lehigh or Leahy. I don't know. Leahy. I don't know. We'll go Leahy. Lambert for the Astros. The Dodgers and the Rockies. Look for the trillion homers from the Dodgers. It's gonna be Glasnow versus Sagano. The Padres and the Angels is gonna be Waldron versus Soriano. Soriano is having a incredible season so far. Can he keep that up? DeGrom for the Rangers, Gilbert for the Mariners. The White Sox, Davis Martin, the A's, Savali. The Blue Jays send out Fisher against Soroka for the D-backs. And the Giants are in D.C. to play the Washington Nationals. Logan Webb on the mound against the former Giant Zach Littell. Yesterday was a good game, a good win for the Giants, a strong quality win. The question is, can they keep it going? Um, there are 12 games left for the Giants in the month of April. We are 5 games under 500. We have to play the Nationals, or rather, we kind of get to play the Nationals. And then we have to play the Dodgers, the Marlins, and the Phillies. The Dodgers, Marlins, and the Phillies are all really good teams. Can the Giants get back to 500 before the month of April ends? That might be a little bit crazy. They'll have to win 5 more games and they lose. I think the goal here for the month of April, having to go up against some really good teams after this road trip ends, I think the goal should be for these next 12 games to win more or as many games as you lose. Try and be 500 or better for the rest of the month, and that'll put you in a position in May where we get some easier games to get back to 500. We really just have to survive the rest of the month because once May rolls around, you expect Rafi to figure it all out. You expect the outfield to figure it all out. Jung Hoo looks like he's starting to get back on track, but for April, where the offense has really been very bad, you're just trying to survive the rest of the month. And it starts here against the Nationals, where this is your chance to gain some games and put yourself over, way over 500 to set yourself up to have more breathing room for that rest of the road for the rest of the month if that is your goal. That's what I'm saying the goal is to win more or as many games as you lose. And it starts today. The Giants are raring to go. That you want to say fight, but the fieriness that came out at the end of that Reds game, I think is going to spark something in this team. And I think it starts here today. I think they're ready to go. I think there's new energy, new motivation for this Giants team. I think that this Reds fight was maybe the best thing that could have happened to the Giants because now not only did they get the win, they have some momentum now, but now they have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be playing with an edge. That's something that Buster actually talked about over the offseason is trying to find that edge, try to make teams not like you, not want to play you, and just you gotta like have that agenda of like We are the baddest team out there, and we are not to be messed with, and we are going to mess with you. Is basically what the Giants want to be. They have definitely not been that this year, but all this bad blood with the Reds and all that hostility, I think, is going to spark something in this team. They're going to start playing with a chip on their shoulder and that edge that they really need to be playing with. It starts today. It starts with Logan Webb on the mound. Logan Webb is 1-2 with a 5.25 ERA. He has definitely not had his best stuff so far this year. Still looking for that dominant Logan Webb start. There have been questions about his reliance on Bailey and the framing. That is something that can be used for Logan Webb personally to find that edge, to find that chip on his shoulder. They're saying that I'm not good now in this ABS era. Screw that. Watch this. That's the mentality he needs to have today. And everyone throughout the lineup needs to find that reason to prove everyone wrong. Logan Webb's reason is that they're saying that I'm no good anymore. Well, watch this. And this is the perfect game for Logan Webb to get back to his usual self. And the Giants really need him because, yes, we did win yesterday. We only scored 3 runs and we only had 6 hits. The offense isn't magically fixed. There are still problems. We had to rely heavily on the pitching staff yesterday, and now we have our ace on the mound. Got to get a good start from Webb for the team's sake and for his sake, trying to get some confidence, try and gain a boost after his first starts of the year. It didn't go necessarily as well as we wanted it to be. Logan Webb's going to be good today. I can feel it. I think it's going to be a good game for the Giants against the upstart Washington Nationals, who have really no expectations, but they're 9-10. They're in a better spot than us record wise, so they're not to be taken lightly. Their offense is actually really good, the most runs in the majors. So it's not going to be easy for Logan Webb, but he's Logan Webb, and you know that he's going to give you a quality start, and hopefully he gives you an extreme quality start today. Giants could use that. He could use that. I can't wait for today's Giants Nationals game. I'm gonna get some water real quick. All right, this is probably the biggest story we have for today, and we did it third. Um, I really don't want to mess this up, but we've already been talking for 37 minutes, so I'm getting a little bit tired, a little bit flustered here. So just bear with me. I'm just gonna try and grind this out, and then uh, yeah, I'm gonna try and grind this out here, you guys. So if you're still here, drop a like, drop a comment down below, subscribe, do all that stuff. Because the Golden State Warriors are in Phoenix tonight to take on the Phoenix Suns. This is the game for the 8th seed, the NBA play-in tournament. The winner of this game gets the privilege of being smacked around by the Thunder. The loser is out. The Suns are here because they lost to the Blazers 114 to 110 on Tuesday. The Warriors are here because they beat the Clippers 126 to 121 on Wednesday. So the Phoenix Suns are a good team. Some people think that the Clippers are better than the Suns. Personally, I think the Suns are a lot better than the Clippers, actually. They won 45 games, they lost 37 of them. The exact opposite record of the Warriors, ironically. But I think the Suns are a good team. They have Devin Booker, they have Jalen Green, they have Dylan Brooks. I think they're a good basketball team. But for whatever reason, the Warriors have had success against them this year. That's with Steph and Jimmy. That's with just Steph, and that's with no Steph, no Jimmy, no Moody, no Porzingis, no nobody, no Draymond, I think. And that game, the one in like I want to say late January, was is the reason that I feel pretty confident about this game. Not necessarily like overly confident. Like I have no doubt in my mind we're gonna win this game. Like I have doubt. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a close one. But based on that performance and that grit and that intensity that we showed in that January game without basically all of our players, I feel I feel better about this game than I did about the Clippers game. I am hopeful. I am hopeful once again because of the fight that we showed on Wednesday against LA. I really think that's going to transition to this game. It's going to carry over, and we're going to use that again in this game. It's going to be tough, just like the first game. It's going to be tough. It's probably going to be tougher because Phoenix is a better team, but rivalry game, win or go home. I think that you can throw all the other stuff out the window. It's just going to be a matter of who wants it more. And if you look at the Suns down the stretch in their game, and you look at the Warriors down the stretch in their game, the Warriors showed more want, more fight, more willpower to finish their game and win their game. And it showed because the Warriors won their game and the Suns did not. So, in terms of who wants it more, I think the Warriors are hungry. The Warriors have momentum now. They're being backed by all their fans. If the Warriors can play another great game of team basketball where Steph plays like Steph and everyone else fills their role around him and they do their role, they play their role at a high rate, then the Warriors can win this game too. It's a matter of who wants it more. And based on the first playing game and just based on my team that I know, and I know what they are, I know who they can be, I say the Warriors will want this game more. And because of that, they're going to take it. Going to be a close one. A 1 point victory is my prediction for this game. Warriors by 1 point. If they want it more, they're going to win this game because they want it more. 1 point victory for Golden State tonight. I don't think there's anything like more that we can talk about in that game. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if the Warriors play good team basketball, they're going to win the game. If I don't, they're not. It's going to take the entire team, just like it did last time. Um, I think that's all we have to really talk about for this game. Um, is for me, basketball. I can talk about it for a long time after the fact. Before, it's kind of hard. As I'm not like an expert on the game in that sense, but um, we didn't even talk about the Giants' offense. Should we go back? No, no. We'll talk about the basketball. We'll talk about more basketball. There's also another playing game today. The game before the Warriors game is the Hornets at the Magic. This is the same deal. Win or go home. Winner gets the 8 seed. Loser gets a vacation to Cancun. The Hornets won their game against the Heat to get here. The Magic lost their game against the Sixers to get here. And if you look at the way those teams played, the Hornets weren't necessarily great. A lot of things did go their way, but they still showed fight down the stretch. And the Magic, because of Paulo Banchero's incredibly bad performance, lost the game. They were in it for most of it, but at the end, Paolo did not show up. It's going to be a question of will Paolo show up today? I think not. I don't think he will. And furthermore, I think that LaMelo Ball will have a better shooting night than he did. I mean, he dropped 30 points shooting like 2 for 16 from 3 point range. In addition to Con Caneppel also not shooting well. He had 6 points, 0 for 6 on threes, 2 for 12 in total. I think those two, in terms of pure, like, in terms of how many threes they made, they were statistically the best 3 point shooters. So I think that in addition to Paolo, so look, Paolo will not play well again. And I think LaMelo is going to find that shooting stroke again. The one that he still scored 30 points on, despite not shooting the three well at all. In fact, he shot it horribly. I mean, he scored 30 points without shooting the three well. I think he's going to shoot the ball much better in this one. And Con Caneppel's also going to shoot the ball much better in this one. Those two, the two young shooters who can pull it from anywhere and score from around the arc, they're going to have a much better game than they did in the first one. And the Magic will get a similar game from Paolo Banchero of the first game of the play-in. So because of those reasons, I'm going to take the Hornets to win this game. I think they have momentum. I think the Magic have no momentum. They're in a rough spot in terms of the present tense and for their future goals. I'll take the Hornets. It's going to be close. I'll take them by 3 points. Um, but I just think the Hornets are going to have a better game in this one. Did I say it was 3 points or did I say something else? I think I said 9 points. Okay, so I gotta stick with my original prediction. 9 point win for Charlotte. That's basketball. The NBA playoffs are gonna start tomorrow. We're gonna have another special edition episode coming out tomorrow morning with Grant about the NBA playoffs and those full predictions. So check that out when it comes out. So on to our last subject, which is football. A little bit of football news. The Houston Texans extended Will Anderson Jr. a 3-year, $150 million contract. This is the largest non quarterback deal ever in terms of AAV. $50 million per year for an edge rusher. I know that I believe that they already signed or re-signed Daniil Hunter. Yeah, so Daniil Hunter got a 1-year extension worth $40 million, and now Will Anderson's getting a 3-year extension worth $50 million a year. So the two best players on the Texans defense that was so unbelievably good last year have now been paid, and all those other guys are also locked up. The Texans, I think, are running it back, and I think that they're going to win the South again. I mean, that might be a little bit early to make that prediction. Maybe they haven't even seen some free agent stuff. We haven't even seen the draft yet. But just based on those signings, the Texans' defense will be the same as last year, and that was a historically good defense. I love this move for the Texans, and if you also look at it from the perspective of like defensive end market, Micah got 47, and that was like a huge deal because it like upped the price by like $10 million. Now the trend, Will Anderson Jr. is a very good player. Is he top five D end? I don't know. Maybe he's on that level with Crosby and Hendrickson. But I mean, I'm thanking God that Nick Bosa got his extension when he did, because otherwise we'd be paying him like $50 million instead of like 35. This could be a problem because you see quarterback market has just gone through the roof inflation wise. Now you're seeing the defensive end market. It's been the quarterback market and the DN market and also the wide receiver market where these new deals are coming out and they're just resetting the bar and players are getting paid big time. And the other positions are getting left in the dust. DN is a very good position. Having a good defensive end is a premium and a luxury for a lot of teams. But that market is getting crazy, and we'll have to see what happens in the future for the DN market. We'll have to take a look. That's gonna do it for today. What a day of sports yesterday, and what a day we're gonna have today. The Warriors and the Suns in the play-in, the Magic and the Hornets in the play-in. Gonna have the Giants playing against the Nationals, and then tomorrow playoffs start for the NBA and the NHL. WNBA preseason is also right around the corner. This is going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be such a good next couple of weeks. Really, the next couple of months are going to be incredible leading up to the World Cup. We are so blessed to have good sports right now. And that's going to do it for today's episode. So thank you, everyone, so much for watching today's episode. Hey, you're alive today. Go make it a good one. All right, go make it a good day. Have a good day. I'll see you back here tomorrow. And be on alert for those special editions, which will come out tonight and the next day. NBA, NHL playoffs. Watch out for those videos. Have a good day today. I'll see you tomorrow.